My girlfriend posted, saying goodbye to this chapter, with a hospital photo implying I'd abandoned her during a medical emergency. I didn't defend myself. I just posted the security footage of her faking the whole thing. She was perfectly fine and laughing with nurses 10 minutes later. When her employer's HR department saw she'd used fake medical leave. Original post: I, 31 male, am sitting here with a beer, still processing the absolute dumpster fire my ex-girlfriend Jessica, 29, created for herself. 2.5 years together, lived in my condo for the last 8 months. Thought we were solid until last week when everything imploded in the most ridiculous way possible. It started with a fight about her friend Melissa's wedding. Jessica wanted us to fly out for the destination wedding, spend 4 days there. Problem was, I'd already committed to helping my brother Derek move that weekend. He's getting divorced, needs support, and I'd promised months ago. Jessica knew this. Just tell him you can't make it, she said, like it was nothing. Jess, he's my brother. He's going through hell right now. And Melissa is my best friend. This is her wedding, which you RSVP'd to without checking with me first. She stormed off, slammed the bedroom door. Classic Jessica move. When she doesn't get her way, it's theatrics time. Next morning, she's gone before I wake up. Whatever, figured she needed to cool off. Then around 2 p.m. my phone starts blowing up. Messages, calls, notifications going crazy. My coworker Trevor sends me a screenshot from Jessica's Instagram. There she is in a hospital bed, IV in her arm, looking pale and dramatic. The caption, saying goodbye to this chapter. When you need them most, their true colors show. Guess I'm doing this alone. Stronger without you, health scares, new beginnings. My stomach dropped. Was she actually sick? I immediately called her, straight to voicemail, texted asking if she was okay. What hospital? Nothing. But here's the thing, Jessica has a history of embellishing, like when she called in sick to work for a family emergency that turned out to be a sample sale. Or when she told her parents I forgot her birthday, when really she was mad I didn't get her the exact purse she wanted. So I did what any reasonable person would do. I called the local hospitals. None had her admitted. Interesting. Then I remembered something. The hospital in the photo looked familiar. Really familiar. Because Jessica's roommate from college, Ashley, is a nurse at Riverside General. The same Ashley who thinks rules don't apply to her and would absolutely help Jessica stage something like this. I didn't respond to any of the messages asking why I abandoned her. Didn't defend myself on social media. Instead, I drove to Riverside General and had a very interesting conversation with security. Update 1. The security office at Riverside was more helpful than I expected. Maybe because I wasn't screaming or making demands, just calmly explaining that my girlfriend had posted she was admitted but wasn't answering calls and I was concerned. The security supervisor, an older guy named Bill, pulled up their system. No Jessica admitted. But when I showed him the Instagram post, he recognized the room number visible in the corner of her photo. 314. That room's been empty since yesterday, Bill said, frowning. Let me check our cameras. 20 minutes later, I'm watching security footage with Bill and his colleague. There's Jessica and Ashley walking into the hospital at 1:07 p.m., laughing and carrying Starbucks. Ashley swipes them through to the nursing station. They disappear down the hall toward room 314. At 1:23 p.m., Jessica posts her dramatic photo. At 1:34 p.m., they're both on camera again at the nursing station, Jessica doing some kind of mock fashion show walk, while Ashley and 2 other nurses crack up laughing. Jessica's perfectly fine, bouncing around, no trace of whatever medical emergency she was implying. At 1:41 p.m., they leave together, Jessica practically skipping to the elevator. Bill burned me a copy of the footage onto a USB drive. This is something else, he muttered. Yeah, I agreed. It really is. Drove home thinking about what to do. Jessica's post had over 200 comments by then. Her mom had commented asking what was wrong, offering to fly in. Her coworkers were sending prayers. My friends were calling me trash. My own mother had left me a voicemail asking how I could leave Jessica alone in the hospital. Jessica finally came home around 8 p.m., key in the door like nothing happened. Walked in looking completely healthy. Stopped dead when she saw me on the couch. Oh, you're home, she said, avoiding eye contact. Feeling better? I asked, keeping my voice neutral. Yeah, Much better. That's good. Modern medicine is amazing. What was wrong? She shifted uncomfortably. Just, stress-related stuff. Anxiety attack. Ah, and they admitted you for that? Well, they wanted to run tests. Which unit? I called looking for you, but they said you weren't admitted. Her face went pale. They must have made a mistake. I was in the ER mostly. Room 3114 is in the ER? The silence was deafening. She knew I knew. Look, I was upset, okay? She finally exploded. You chose your stupid brother over Melissa's wedding, and I wanted you to see how it feels to be abandoned. So you faked a medical emergency, posted it publicly, let everyone think I'm some monster who left you in the hospital. I didn't think it would blow up like that. You have 237 comments, Jess. Your mom is trying to book a flight. I'll fix it. How? By admitting you lied? She glared at me. I wasn't lying. I was there. I was upset. That's a medical issue. The entitlement. The mental gymnastics. I just shook my head. You need to find somewhere else to stay, I said quietly. What? You're kicking me out over this? You publicly humiliated me with a lie. You used your friend's position to access hospital facilities for a fake photo op. Yeah, I'm done. She started crying then. Big, dramatic tears. Where am I supposed to go? That's not my problem anymore. She grabbed some things and left, probably to Ashley's. Good riddance, I thought. But I wasn't done. Not even close. Update 2. That night I couldn't sleep. Keep thinking about all the people who'd seen that post, who now thought I was garbage. My reputation tarnished because Jessica wanted to win an argument. Around 2 a.m., I made a decision. If she wanted to play the social media game, fine. Let's play. I posted the security footage. Not the whole thing, just the relevant parts. Jessica walking in healthy with Starbucks, her doing the fashion walk while nurses laughed, her leaving. Clearly fine. I captioned it. Since people are concerned, here's the security footage from yesterday. As you can see, there was no medical emergency, no abandonment, just someone who thought faking illness for sympathy was appropriate. I don't usually air private matters publicly, but when lies affect my reputation, the truth matters. Then I tagged everyone who'd commented on her original post. Went to bed. Woke up to chaos. My phone had so many notifications it was glitching. Jessica had called 23 times. Her mom had called 8 times. Ashley had sent a novel-length text calling me pathetic and addictive. But the best part? The comments on my post. Holy shit, she really faked being in the hospital? This is insane. Who does this? Bro, you dodged a bullet. Wait, isn't that Ashley Thompson? Doesn't she work there? This could be serious. That last comment gave me pause. I hadn't even thought about the professional implications for Ashley. But that was on her, not me. Jessica's mom, Diane, called again. I answered this time. How dare you embarrass her like this? Diane screeched. She embarrassed herself, Diane. I just provided facts. She was stressed. You drove her to this. I refused to bail on my brother's move that I'd committed to months ago. If that drives someone to fake a medical emergency, that's on them. You're ruining her life over a small mistake. She tried to ruin my reputation over not getting her way. Actions have consequences. Take it down right now. No, she hung up on me. Jessica showed up at my door an hour later, mascara running, looking genuinely distressed for the first time. Take it down, she demanded. Please. Everyone's seen it. My boss saw it. This is getting out of hand. Should have thought about that before you posted lies about me. I took mine down. After the damage was done. After everyone already saw it and formed opinions. This is different. You're showing video that proves I lied. My work thinks I faked being sick last month now. HR wants to meet with me. Oh, that was interesting. She'd used sick days for that Vegas trip with the girls last month, claimed she had food poisoning. Not my problem, I said, starting to close the door. She blocked it with her foot. I'll sue you for posting video of me without consent. I actually laughed. It's security footage from a public area of a hospital. No expectation of privacy. Plus, you posted the original lie. This is just defending myself with facts. You're such a... She started, then stopped. Fine, but I need my stuff. I'll box it up. You can pick it up this weekend. I live here. Not anymore. You're not on the lease. You have no legal right to be here. She tried to push past me. I blocked her. Move, she demanded. No. Leave, or I call the cops. For trying to enter my own home. For trying to enter my home that you have no legal claim to. after you've been told to leave. That's trespassing, Jess. The look on her face like she'd never been told no in her life, which thinking about it was probably accurate. Diane had always babied her, cleaned up her messes, made excuses. Not anymore. At least not with me. Update 3. The fallout was swift and brutal. First, Ashley got suspended pending investigation. Turns out hospitals take HIPAA very seriously, and even though Jessica wasn't a real patient, Ashley had used her badge to access restricted areas for personal use, allowed a non-employee into patient care areas, and participated in what they called misuse of medical facilities. Jessica absolutely lost it when she found out. Sent me a voice message screaming that I'd ruined Ashley's career and that I was evil. I didn't respond. Ashley made her choices. Then came the work situation. Jessica's HR department had connected some dots. She'd called in sick 5 times in the past 3 months. They cross-referenced her social media. Why do people not make their profiles private? And found photos of her at a music festival during one sick day. In Vegas during her food poisoning, and now this fake hospital stay. She got fired, not suspended. Fired. Her mom called me again, this time crying. She lost her job because of you. She lost her job because she committed fraud, Diane. Multiple times, apparently. She's going to lose her apartment. She can't afford it without work. Then maybe she shouldn't have been skipping work to party. You're heartless. You loved her. I loved who I thought she was. Turns out that person didn't exist. Let her come back just until she finds a new job. Please. Absolutely not. Then you're paying for this. Emotional distress, defamation. My husband's a lawyer. Your husband is a real estate lawyer, Diane, and posting factual security footage isn't defamation. It's literally the truth. She hung up again. But the entitlement wasn't done. Not even close. Jessica created a new Instagram account since she deleted her old one after my post went viral in our social circle. This new one was called Surviving Narcos, Narcissistic Abuse. Apparently I'm a narcissist now. She posted a long story about how she'd been psychologically manipulated and gaslit into feeling like she had to create dramatic scenarios to get my attention. How I was emotionally absent and controlling. How posting the security footage was revenge porn. It absolutely wasn't, but okay. Some people bought it. She started getting followers, sympathy, even a few people sharing their own narcissistic ex stories. Then she made her mistake. She posted, "He even controls the finances. Wouldn't let me save my own money. Economic abuse is real." That was provably false. I had screenshots of every Venmo request she'd sent me for her half of rent that she paid maybe 60% of the time. Bank records showing she had full access to her own accounts. Hell, I had texts of her bragging to friends about how she was saving money by living with me because I covered most expenses. I didn't post these immediately. Instead, I sent them to my lawyer friend, Roberto. "Can I post these to refute her claims?" I asked. "You can," he said, looking them over. "But better idea, send me everything. All the screenshots, the security footage, her posts about you. Let's document everything in case she escalates." Smart move because she did escalate. Update 4. A week after getting fired, Jessica went nuclear. Started with her showing up at my work. Security called me down to the lobby where she was making a scene, crying, telling anyone who'd listen that I'd destroyed her life and she just needed closure. My boss, thankfully, was incredibly understanding when I explained the situation. Security escorted her out with a warning not to return. Then she tried a new angle. She started contacting my friends and family directly. Not through social media, but personal messages, emails even showed up at my buddy Keith's apartment. Keith called me, bewildered. "Dude, Jessica's at my door crying saying you're holding her grandmother's ring hostage?" "Her grandmother's ring? What ring?" "She says her grandma's engagement ring is in your apartment and you won't let her get it." "Keith, her grandmother is alive and lives in Florida, and she definitely never gave Jessica any ring." "Oh, wow, she's really going for it, huh?" "Yeah, don't let her in." But Jessica had already moved on to her next target, my mom. Mom called me that evening. "Honey, Jessica's here." "What?" She showed up crying, saying she needed to talk to someone who knows you. I let her in for tea. "Mom, no. She's lying about everything." "Oh, I know, dear. I saw your post with the security footage. I'm not stupid." "Then why did you let her in?" "To see what she'd say. It's been illuminating." Turns out Mom had been recording the whole conversation. Mom's sneaky like that. Jessica had spun an elaborate tale about my anger issues. I don't have any. My drinking problem. I have maybe 2 beers a week. And how I'd isolated her from her support system. Her friends hung out at our place constantly. When Mom calmly presented facts that contradicted each claim, Jessica got increasingly agitated, eventually screaming that my whole family was toxic enablers. Mom calmly asked her to leave. Jessica refused. Mom had to call the police, 2 cops showing up at my mother's house because of my ex-girlfriend. I was mortified. Mom, however, was weirdly proud of how she handled it. I got it all on video, she said cheerfully. Very clear evidence of harassment. Between the work incident and the situation at Mom's house, Roberto said we had enough for a restraining order. We filed the next day. Jessica was served at Ashley's apartment, where she'd been staying. According to Ashley's roommate, who reached out to me later, Jessica had a complete meltdown, screaming about injustice and how I was trying to silence her truth. But here's where it gets really incredible. Jessica decided the restraining order was just paper. She created fake social media accounts to keep tabs on me. She had Diane call me from different numbers. She even had some guy I'd never met message me on LinkedIn saying he was a mediator who wanted to help us resolve our conflict. Each violation was documented. Roberto was building quite the file. Then came the coup de grace. Final update. 3 weeks after the hospital incident, I get a call from an unknown number. Usually wouldn't answer, but something told me to pick up. Is this Daniel? A woman's voice, professional sounding. Yes, who's this? This is Margaret from Riverside General's Administration. We're investigating an incident involving unauthorized access to our facilities. We understand you have security footage? Interesting. I do. We'd like to review it as part of our investigation. Would you be willing to share it? Absolutely. Sent them the footage. 2 days later, they called back. Turns out this wasn't Ashley's first violation. She'd been written up twice before for bringing friends into restricted areas. This was the final straw. Ashley was terminated, and because she'd used her access for fraudulent purposes, she was reported to the state nursing board. Jessica, apparently, didn't take this well. She showed up at my condo building at 3 a.m., drunk, screaming up at my window from the parking lot. You ruined everything. Ashley's life is destroyed. Are you happy now? Multiple neighbors called the cops. I just recorded from my window. The cops arrested her for violating the restraining order and public intoxication. At her hearing, the judge was not sympathetic, especially when presented with all the evidence of continued harassment despite the order. 30 days in jail. Diane actually had to pay her bail, and then Jessica had to serve the time anyway because bail was just for pretrial release. While she was in jail, the real consequences hit. Her lease required employment verification every year. Without a job and with an eviction from Ashley's place, she'd been staying there but not paying, and Ashley's roommates were done. She couldn't renew. Her credit was already shot from the legal fees and fines. The nursing board investigation of Ashley became a public record. Suddenly, everyone in their social circle knew exactly what had happened. The fake hospital visit, the abusive position, all of it. When Jessica got out, she had nothing. No job. Who's hiring someone with a fraud termination? No apartment, a criminal record, and a restraining order that meant she couldn't come within 500 feet of me, my home, or my workplace. Diane finally stopped calling after Roberto sent her a cease and desist letter. Last I heard from mutual friends, Jessica had to move back to her parents' house in their retirement community 3 hours away. At 29, she's living in her childhood bedroom, working part-time at a craft store, and blocked from most social media platforms for ban evasion. Ashley lost her nursing license. She's apparently working at a call center now, telling anyone who'll listen that I ruined her life for helping a friend in need. Me? I'm doing okay. Therapy helped process the whole mess. Amazing how much manipulation you don't see when you're in it. The gaslighting, the constant drama, the way she'd twist reality to make herself the victim. My brother Derek, the one whose move started this whole thing, he's doing better too. We actually laugh about it now, how Jessica's tantrum over missing a wedding ended up showing me exactly who she really was. I still have the security footage saved. Roberto says keep it forever, just in case. Sometimes I watch it when I doubt myself, when I wonder if I overreacted. Then I see her laughing, dancing, perfectly healthy, while the internet attacked me for abandoning her. Nah, I didn't overreact. I just finally stood up for myself. The entitlement, though? That still amazes me. The fact that she thought she could publicly destroy my reputation with lies and face no consequences. That she could violate a restraining order because she was upset. That even now, according to the grapevine, she tells people she's the victim of a narcissistic smear campaign. Some people never learn. They just find new people to blame. But that's not my problem anymore. My only problem now is deciding whether to renew my lease or buy a house. Leaning toward the house, fresh start and all that. Funny how removing toxic people from your life suddenly makes everything clearer. Even furniture shopping is easier when you don't have someone demanding everything be Instagram-worthy or throwing fits when you won't buy a $3,000 couch you can't afford. Life's good. Drama-free. Exactly how it should be. Oh, and Melissa's wedding? The one that started all this, got canceled. Apparently, the groom had been cheating. Jessica missed that whole mess because she was in jail. Karma's real, folks. Sometimes it just takes its sweet time.